Hey everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis, and we are still working on Krieg Death Corps, only now we have moved on to our engineer squads to include mole launcher teams, and going to be putting those together. These are all washed and everything. What I also have over here is the equivalent of another 10-man squad, but I'm going to use these guys to beef up my engineers, even though they don't particularly look like engineers. We have a small fix for that, and that is using, well, the gas canisters are probably going to go with them, but in the equipment box set or blister pack, you have all of these mines and things like this, and so we're going to use those to outfit these guys as engineers. That being said, if you are new to the channel, please comment, like, subscribe, and if you'd like to support us, Patreon link in the description below. Alright, so gotta grab some bases over here, and if you haven't heard, there looks like they're going to be releasing some new orc models. What does that mean for my ginormous orc army? I'm probably not going to be buying those orc models. I mean, I would like to, but the amount of orcs that I have, I don't know that it's even worth it, to be honest with you. I think it would end up being, I don't know, I just feel like it wouldn't be worth it at all. I mean, yeah, they look like they might look nice. I mean, of course, everything that we've seen so far, it looks like we need a new bag. Looks like everything that we've seen so far with the needed a new bag for these pieces. We've filled up the other one, but anyway, everything that we've seen so far, they look, you know, like they've got a different pose. They're nicer, if you will, like bigger, maybe slightly bigger, more muscular, you know, kind of like, you know, what we see, you know, in 40K videos and things like that. But I've just got way too much invested and way too many orc boys to even think about rolling on that. I mean, that orc army takes up an entire case by itself, and I think it's fine for what it is. So I guess now I will be like the guys who have played 2nd edition and stuff like that, and, you know, be thinking the way or feeling the way that they do. So there's that. Yeah, we're putting these engineers together. I do not have a termite drill for these guys. I'm thinking about trying to make my own. I think it's doable with what I have. We'll see. But alright, I'm gonna try to use something else to prop this up for now. That's the one thing I do not like about these new GW bases. They do not want to stick for anything. Anyway, moving on from that complaint. Let's see here. We also have, well, if you looked at it, maybe Games Workshop's going to come out with it, you know, a better picture, whatever. Somebody took a picture. Basically, it was a box set that looked like it had the new Cadian Guard in it, along with the new orcs. And okay, what's going on here? All right, I just want to make sure I'm not missing any arms or anything. When I say new Cadian Guard, I mean like with the, you know, the box or the heads in there, the new heads that are in the box. So, but again, they went way up in price, and that's not really something I'm excited about, to be honest with you. Not when I have two legit freaking guard forces right now, the Armageddon Steel Legion and the Death Corps of Krieg. and that is all I really care about in retrospect. Now I will tell you that back in the day, I think they're called the Voistrians or Voistrians. They were pretty cool when they first came out. I don't know what the heck happened to them. I don't know if I've never had a model of them, and I don't know if they just, something changed in them or changed in me. Not really sure about that. Really don't know. But yeah, that would be one other army that I would definitely, well, I would say that I would want to have, but it's not, you know, it's not like one of my must-haves, you know, like the Krieg, where they were definitely a must-have for certain. Okay. Something I was going to tell you about these guys over here. I mean, these are basic, you know, Krieg guardsmen. They're not actual engineer models, but that's okay, because what I'm going to do is, now that I've committed myself to them, is I'm going to cut the barrels off here and essentially mod this in a way so that it looks like some type of shotgun, since that's what they're equipped with. I thought back in the day that they were equipped with las guns as well, or maybe hot shot las guns, I can't remember, but I don't know, maybe that changed or something like that, I don't know. But we're trucking right along with this army, and I am totally stoked. I put together, oh yeah, you probably saw me pull this out. So these guys come with my heavy artillery crew. He's looking through this, you know, giant periscope type thing, or binocular type deal. These are gonna, I've got 3 of these, so these, and each of the crews came with, like, I think it's 5 or 6, hold on, I'll tell you in just a second. I'm pretty sure it's 6 different crew members. And so what I'm gonna do, I mean, you know, that doesn't matter when it comes to the Earthshaker, you know, carriage or anything like that. You know, they don't care about the people. It's just really for looks. You can just have the, you know, the carriage, and it doesn't matter. But these guys are going to become my masters of ordnance, and that's going to free me up for quite a bit in the way of models. So that'll be good. I also put together, I know he's in Legends or doesn't exist anymore, but the Quartermaster's retinue. See these guys here, and some kind of medical servitor, you know, some kind of type of standard bearer list or whatever, maybe honor list servitor, and then the servitor that's, you know, in my mind, getting their equipment to turn over to the next guardsman. So one thing I am going to do though, and I think you guys might like this, inside the Quartermaster's retinue and stuff is this guy right here. Okay, and he looks, you know, he looks like he's been shot and he's asking for the Emperor's mercy or whatever. I am not going to use him that way. I am going to find a way to put him on a base that doesn't look stupid, and I'm going to use him as an engineer, as if he's placing, you know, something, you know, on a wire or an obstacle or whatever, trying to not get shot while he's doing it. I think that will be a lot better for me. But one thing I did notice on this model is that part of his hose right here is missing, so that's unfortunate. But you know, maybe I can do something, a little bit of green stuff or whatever. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. He's going to be added to the engineer crew for that very reason. But as you guys can see, he does not completely fit. Hold on, let me show you here. He does not completely fit on the base. I'd like to have his foot on the base at a minimum, but I guess it's not necessarily that important. But my goal was to kind of push him back, have like wire all around him or something, and then put something in his hand like he's trying to rig it to explode. You know, like a Bangalore torpedo or something like that, like we actually really had. And guys actually do sneak up and put that stuff in. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say that, check out Saving Private Ryan. They actually have one in there, and believe it or not, that was World War II, and we still use those types of things. So, or did. I'm coming up on 2022. I'll be June of 2022. I'll be 10 years retired. But conventional operations will always be there. You will always need some type of actual force to conduct the breach of defensive perimeters and structures and lines. Okay, I thought that. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, I thought he was gonna fall over there for a second, but he did not. So that's good. We only have 5 actual engineers except for the mold teams. So those engineers will be spread out amongst, you know, we'll have 3 engineer squads. And I know there's people out there saying, you know, that, well, they're not that good anymore or whatever. I think it's about how you play, and I don't really care about that. I mean, for me, it's, you know, the excitement, the drama, you know, whatever that you can put on. Come on, bag, stay open. That you can put these guys, you know, put your army through on the table. Now I could say that, you know, I could probably, and I might later in the future, I don't want to promise anything, but, you know, I could, you know, just for me, you know, not obviously for selling purposes, but take, you know, arms like this, for instance, with the shotgun on it, and, you know, put that in the Insta mold, and probably get away with making something like this. I'm just not sure if the juice is worth the squeeze on that one. So, not when I can, you know, easily make a makeshift shotgun from the last gun they already have in their arms or on their back. So, and I mean, it doesn't have to be, you know, some, I mean, literally, if you take a look at this, you could literally just, you know, cut off the tip just a hair, you know, like I would say cut off to right there, cut all of that forward off, and then you have a shotgun, magazine fed shotgun. So that's what I'm thinking. Alright, I gotta find a base for this dude. Don't know if this is some of their heels, man. I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but the boots that they're wearing, the heels are like super tall, for whatever reason. Okay, move this over here. Oh, I just knocked him off. Yep, just knocked him off. And I'll just move the camera over some. You can see my Pittsburgh Steeler Marine. Alright, while those dry and fix themselves, I will move on to the mole launcher, guys. Let's see here. Gotta watch this guy's toe. It's kind of hidden in the resin a little bit. Let's see here. Alright. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that stuff on there for now until we get these guys solidified on their bases. only thing I need to check is and I already have this up, is I need to check and make sure that the mole team is not on some kind of like bigger base. I would think that they might be, since they might be considered a heavy weapons team, but I'm not exactly sure about that. So I'm looking for the mole launcher team right now. It looks like they are together on one base. Yes. So it's going to be one of these bases here. Okay. Got it. Alright. Sorry I don't have it in the camera at this base right here. This is 32 or 40 millimeter base, so that you can fit 2 of them on there. Let me just make sure one more time that that looks like the right size base. This one might be a little too large, actually. What do you mean, Forge World? Forge World's like, please stand by, we're checking your browser. What the heck are you talking about? Alright, something's not right. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's this base. Could be wrong, but I don't recall pulling anything out that's not already here, because this is all I pulled out is 25 millimeter. These 32s, which I think is what this is, and then these bad boys right here. So this just seems a little large for the mole launcher team. Let me take this guy, we'll cut him off, and then just get a dry fit here. Stick that over there just to make sure we're not messing up. So he's supposed to be like putting something in his back. So now that looks about right now. Okay, yeah, we're good. So I say putting something in the back, I mean reloading the launcher. Alright. And I will leave this over here for now. And we're just going to get these guys put on for now first. Let's see here. My next project after this, once I get the Krieg army done, which we've still got a ways to go, is going to be, because I just wanted to start on another army, is going to be, I won't do a video on this because it won't take me that long, but I'm going to go back and all my Space Wolves, except for those that already have them, I've got to replace all of their shoulder pauldrons with the new, you know, shoulder pauldrons that have the actual Space Wolf logo on it. So let's see here. This guy wants to fall over. He's weak. He does not want to stay up, that's for sure. Where's a commissar when you need one? wants to hold themselves up today. There we go. Okay, how are you guys looking here? Looks like we might need a little more glue. I do have essentially one extra guy, one extra guardsman that I could just throw in here, which is probably what's going to happen, just to beef these squads up a little bit. And the tactical reason for these squads is not that they're super strong, although I did watch a battle report where it seemed like it was hard to kill them. The guy was just making really good rolls. Not that I'm hating on him, but what I was gonna say was it's harassment. You know, it's getting those objectives and holding them or what have you. That's the goal. And let's see. I really wanna. He's one guy though. Oh, you know what I could do? I could possibly heat up his leg and bend it in. But then that would be unnatural because then he wouldn't have any leverage to push his body up. Oh, I guess. Alright, I see what's going on here. If you take a look down below here, I found it. So, remember I said it was missing the hose right here? It's not. It's right here on the ground. As if it was shot through. So that makes sense. I don't know. Let's see. We've got 5 of these guys, so, and then the mole launcher teams. So each one of these teams over here. Why did we lose focus? What happened here? Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Anyway, we've got all these teams over here. So that's a minimum of 5 plus 1 engineer. So that's going to make 6. We might be able to roll with 8-man teams. Just depends. Just depends. We need some more glue right here on this dude's foot. Probably on his foot. Back of his foot. I always keep a couple spare models around that have, like, you know, appendages or whatever that stick out. That way I can, you know, use them to basically, you know, press up against and make models stand up. So we're gonna hold off on him for a minute or for a bit. Stick him over here. Alright, so let's go ahead and go for broke on this since we're committing to these engineer teams. Again, I'm not cutting the whole thing off. I'm just cutting a portion. Try to show you what I'm talking about here. About right there. Does that make sense? Basically right on top of the las cannon deal. Not las cannon, geez, las gun compensator. And now we essentially have a shotgun. But what I'm going to further do is, you see this piece right here on the top, I'm going to cut that off. Or trim it down rather. So it's not sticking up. Also going to trim this out some. And then I'm going to trim the bottom of this as well. I just broke it off. Awesome. let's see here. Okay. So yeah, now if you take a look at this, tell me that doesn't look like a shotgun. Just magazine fed shotgun. So. Alright. Yeah, that's gonna work out just great. Where did I put him? There he is. Back where it goes, if we can get it in there. Yeah, that looks like a pretty decent shotgun, if I do say so myself. See what I mean? Just that little clip, boom. And you know, and if you take a look, looks like he's got, you know, a forearm stock or forearm on the stock that he can actually cycle back and forth as a pump action shotgun. So So what I'll probably do with these las gun bits right here, if I can make it work, is what I'll do is I'll glue them on the side of the gun, maybe like they're kind of like shells. I don't know if it's small enough, but it might be. So we're gonna save those bits for now. So let's go ahead and cut the rest of this off, rest of these rather. Just want to be right there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it with the razor blade instead. Hopefully I don't cut it at an angle. Nope, that's not going to work. Should have probably done that before I glued it on. But I wasn't committed yet to doing it, so. And we'll trim up the edge there. Yeah, you guys get the premise of what I'm doing. Excellent. And again, I'm just kind of waiting for this stuff to dry before I start putting together. There's not going to be enough of those to look like a shotgun shell, so it's probably not important. Besides, he's carrying a magazine anyway. There's some, I'm sure there's, well, I know this, I mean, there's other tutorials about how to make shotguns and stuff, you know, including putting a, what do you call it, like cut out most of the las gun. But it's not this las gun, it's the las gun that the Cadians typically have. And then you can, you know, cut out a portion of it and then put a bolter, you know, the grip for the bolter underneath, whatnot. But I mean, I don't need to do that with these, so, which is, you know, gonna save a ton of time. I know you're like, why are you saving those pieces if you're not gonna use them? Good question, man. I'm always saving stuff. I'm always saving. But if I had to say anything or admit to myself about which gun I like better, I would definitely say I like these guns as a shotgun better than I do the ones that the engineers have. I just don't really like the way those look, but it doesn't matter. It is what it is. And if anything, I can still, maybe if they ever change it back, I can say that these are, you know, hotshot las guns as well. But who knows? But that little change right there, just taking off that little compensator, and now this thing basically looks like, without the magazine, in modern terms, a little bit like a Remington 870 pump action shotgun in my mind. And that's all that matters, man. It's really about what you enjoy, or whatever, and how you want things to be. And I mean, you know, if your opponent's having trouble trying to figure out, you know, what's what, that, you know, just explain it to them. You know, I mean, make sure they fully understand what's going on. But I don't think that will be the problem here, because these guys will have, you know, the mines on them and things like that, you know, kind of showing, you know, what they're all about. So. Watch this one because it's just glued on the back. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, like I said, I still need to trim up around the barrel and stuff, but it still looks to me like a shotgun. All from one little clip. I guess alternatively, if you had some extra parts like what you call it, scout shotguns or something like that, you could use those. You know, Space Marine scout shotguns. They're kind of similar, I think. Now the question some of you may have is, when you get to that massive job of drilling out all of the gun barrels, are you going to do that on this? Probably. I'll probably have to use a needle or something. You don't need that long of a, or deep of a hole though. That's the thing. I mean, get a sharp blade like this, you could probably just stick the tip in there right there, and then just work it around, and then you've got it, you know. So, all right. Let's see. I don't have any other use for this guy, so I'm going to go ahead and commit to this. I do have another couple arms, so I mean, if I ever really get upset about it, I can fix it. Or I could just save these and put it back on, really, if I wanted to. So. Alright. Outstanding. So well, actually they're not all done, because if I'm going to use this guy as he's putting something on, I got to get him a las gun. And I know we have those parts around here somewhere. Somebody's got extra parts, I know this. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. I was going to say, there's no way. Oh, wait a minute, maybe those aren't extra. Okay, yeah, those aren't extra. Hold up. Hold up. Here we go. What do we got in here? Extra arms. I'm not seeing extra guns on their own. hold on, let me look at this again. These are all the guys for, hold on, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, how many guys do we have here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then we got 12. So somehow we're either missing something. I don't know. It doesn't make, unless they just don't all carry a gun. Now I could take from one of these arms and shave off the hand and stuff like that. I have done that in the past. I'm just not sure that's what I want to do for this guy. Actually, it might not be a bad idea, because what I can do is, instead of his gun being on his back like that, you know, exposing him, I could have the gun laying down on the ground next to him, kind of covering up his hand that's covering his chest, and make the hand match up. Oh yeah, yep, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this hand off right there. Or I mean the arm rather. Let's trim this up. We gotta be careful here, because we'll snap this right in half, man. I'm not even joking. Yeah, I can already feel it starting to be stupid on me. Let's see here. Gotta support the back, because this won't be an issue, because all you're gonna do is flatten this out anyway, and it's just gonna look like part of the stock again. You know what I mean? It's not that big a deal at all. Hello to whoever is watching. Glad you stopped by. Yeah, that looks good. Plus, like I said, it's gonna be on the ground for this guy, so yeah, that looks good. And then we don't have to cut this hand off, because it's going to cover up the other hand, and it's going to look like he's cradling it on the ground. You know what I mean? But I do want to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to go ahead and cut this las cannon bit off here. Las cannon, jeez, las gun compensator off. Get his shotgun all squared away here. It's not really, I mean, now it's a shotgun. Alright, and then where did he go? He's crawling away from me. That's what it is. He's over here crawling away. He's like, no, no, I don't want to do it. No, I'm done with this fight. Oh. Anyway. Alright, so yeah. Oh yeah, that looks good. So let me dry fit this, and hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about here. See if I can cradle it in my hand here. So essentially, you guys see his hand up against his chest, right? Well, what I'm gonna do, hey Plague Moon, how you doing, man? So I'm just gonna put this right over top of it, so it looks like he's cradling his gun while he's gonna be putting a charge on something. Does that make sense? Because, you know, Krieg Deathcore never die, so, well, in my mind anyway. And then that's gonna be legit. Totally. Sit that in there just like that. It sits almost perfect on top of his knee that's inboard. Yup, there you go, guys. Just like that. He could either be throwing a grenade, he could be placing a charge, it could be anything. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, I've been toying with it for some time in my head. It's a huge committal process considering how much all this crap costs. So yeah, I think it looks good. Glad you guys like it too. Alright, we'll sit that bad boy down. Hopefully it won't fall off. Yeah, that looks good. Awesome. Oops, watch the camera. I'm still getting used to having the camera right here. So, alright. Mole, I'm going to set the, well, I guess we can go ahead and, no, I want to put a mole launcher together. I've never even seen one of these things before in real life. So I've been really excited to put them together. So let's cut one of these bad boys out. I'll get one that I don't need to trim so much. Let's see here. And why are there oh, never mind. That was a dumb question. I was going to ask myself why there are two arms here, because usually I guess you're used to the arm being attached to the weapon. In this case it's not. So got his rack of lamb back here. No, I'm kidding. Rack of rounds. Yeah, that worked out good, shaving off that hand and everything. Stay right over there, buddy. Okay. Alright, so there's the hand there. This goes in the shoulder. And then this is the other arm. I'll worry about the back here in a minute. Hopefully. Alright, so the way this is looking to me is that I'm going to have to put the arms on first. Man, I hate when they do that. Because it just never seems to want to work out right. But like maybe I can get this to fit first. No. That's such an oddball way of doing that. Hold on. Hold the line. Alright. So that's really, I need to drill that out just a hair, I think. Make sure if you're doing this, kids, you watch yourself. This particular blade, I don't even have a tip on it. I broke it off for this very reason. But you know, it's just as sharp. Alright. Oh, I gotta trim that out. Okay. Maybe I can put this other arm on first, which I think would be a better idea. Yeah. Maybe? I don't know. Resin's such a pain in the butt to freaking do. You're gluing all this stuff. Inside this shoulder mount. Maybe we can get it to work. Alright, we'll let that sit for a second. Hopefully we don't disturb it. Let's try to find a base for this guy. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just put a little bit of glue on him, not a lot, in case I want to change the base later. Yeah. Alright, let that guy sit there. And then I'm gonna put one of these satchel, well, I call it a satchel charge, one of these mines in his hands. like he's trying to place it somewhere. Let's see here. Something like that. Yeah. I think that'll work. Let's put a little bit of glue here. Slide that down in his hand more. I think we got it, guys. What do you think? How does that look? And of course I had to mess with it. Here, let me get it back in his hand. Maybe we'll have it a little more up in the air. You son of a gun. So remember the old trick. If you got too much glue or the glue decides it doesn't want to stick, put your fingers on it and you'll get some skin cells on there that'll help with the bond. See? Oh man. Yeah, so here we have our guy that was part of the, oh god, I'm dying. Instead he now has a shotgun, he's part of the engineer squad, and now he's placing an actual mine. So perfect. I just don't like the fact his leg is hanging off. Sorry, but you know, I can deal with it, and then I can fix his hose here, you know, later on with something and just make that go down. But yeah, that's awesome. All right, I don't know about this mole launcher yet. I'm telling you, this resin, man, it does not want to glue right first time around ever. We'll give it a shot. Put a little bit more right there in that gap, and then hopefully this guy's not going to pop off, and we can hopefully just rest that right in there. And if your finger gets stuck, twist it off, don't pull it off. There you go, look at that. Bam. It's almost like we knew what we were doing. Almost. Wait a minute. Okay. I better get these parts out of here. I'm like, which arm is it? Hold on. This guy's like, I got this, don't leave me. No way. And I'm gonna jinx it again, but it just went right on there. It doesn't look right though. No, that can't be right. Something's not right there. Unless his arm's supposed to be bent like that. Maybe. Maybe. It went right on too. That never happens for me, ever. I'm glad it's happening with all you guys watching. So that way I have proof. But now, like I said, I'm going to mess with it. It's probably going to all fall apart. Alright, let's put that down. Let's get his buddy over here. This guy, take up some of this extra glue that we've got. I don't want to have this guy directly behind him. Just, you know, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me to do that. Ugh, liver. deliver. He's just got a chicken wing gun grip. That's true. That's true. Nice. And we're gonna have to bring out the Pittsburgh Steeler Marine again to prop this dude up. We've got our Melt-A-Bomb football right here. If you haven't noticed, for those of you that are either new to the channel or new to watching my nonsense, but I gotta go back and strip all these models and repaint them. It was a rush job back in the day to have a Pittsburgh Steeler and New Orleans Saints football teams, and I made up my own rules for Blood Bowl is one thing, but it's too slow for me, and I made up my own rules with my wife, and it's a lot more faster paced game, like you're actually doing stuff, both of you, the whole time. So it's pretty cool. Hopefully one day I'll demonstrate that for everybody, but I'm planning on trying to see if I can't put it into print at some point. Alright, where is the backpack? Here it is. Now this is for the gunner. Well, that's weird. I thought that was like a backpack for holding rounds. It's not. It's almost like he's feeding targeting data into the guy or something, because this is a keyboard and a joystick like Atari. Look at that thing. That's crazy. I mean, he's not a cyborg, I'm pretty sure. Interesting. Alright, you're out of here. Back to the bench. Alright, let's get this on here. Man, I should have probably put this on beforehand. I wasn't thinking about it. I was too excited before I put the... Actually, you know what? I'll just take him off. He's not glued on that much anyway. There we go. That was a lot easier. Let's tack a little bit more glue in there. And then this guy, we're going to need to go ahead and figure out this arm situation for him, because now I understand why he was directly behind him, because he was operating the computer. That I didn't know. I thought it was just a missile rack. I never even took the time to look. Goes on his back like a backpack, and the guy behind him is like typing in coordinates for the missile when he fires it. Boy, if that's the case, man, we've got issues. I hope that's not a sign for things to come with my Krieg. We missed a target because you were moving, you were breathing. I couldn't type. I got carpal tunnel. I thought it was more like a passive launch system, like the javelins and whatnot that we used in the Marine Corps, where it, you could target it, drop back down behind cover, launch it, and it already knew where to go. But no, the Imperium of Man has to make things more difficult. Great job. Alright, so let me see here. So this right here, this hand, I guess is on there like that. And this hand is typing. Okay. Well, that changes things a little bit, because I put him over on that side for that reason, but I could do it at an angle like this. I think it'll be fine. I just don't want to cover up the other, the other guy with the other guy. You know what I mean? I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose of being able to see your models and paint them and stuff. Get his hand up a little higher. Oh no! Okay, that looks about right. Oh, and I peeled it off because I didn't follow my own advice and rotate my finger off of the model. Way to go. Too late now. Too late to turn back now. I'm really not that old, I just know the song. And my beard's gray because reasons. Alright, let's put a little bit more there. Slap a little there. And they're pretty much on the... Oh crap, I dropped it on the floor. Of course that was going to happen. The danger of me dropping my stuff on the floor is I'm in a rolling chair, and if it goes too far, when I go to come back, I may crush it. It's not plastic, so I have to be somewhat careful. But yeah, his hand should be... I should be able to work this out now. There we go. I'm almost positive that's correct. Almost positive. Oh, so close. Just a little higher. There we go. Bam. Like I knew what I was doing. Alright, cool. So let's... Oh wait, you know what? I think that slid down. It did. Son of a gun. Let's try that instead. That actually looks better. Okay, cool. So we'll throw a little bit extra glue on there. Glue his feet a little bit. And he can support himself on the keyboard and the joystick. Does the fact that they have this weapon system give new meaning to the word joystick? Joy in launching this missile at the enemies of mankind, perhaps? Is that a horrible joke? Don't be afraid to tell me. I just had to mess with the arm again. Armageddon. There's another horrible joke for you guys. Yep. Alright. Too much glue. Let's get a little bit of skin cells on there. I know that sounds gross, doesn't it? But it works, man. It works. You cannot fault me for that. If you've never tried it, don't fault it till you try, or knock it till you try it. Come on, dude. Get on there for me. The only thing I don't like about this is that it looks like his toes might be a little high, but not that bad. Doesn't have his hand on the joystick. There we go. But I can fix that when I base it. Really? There's this one little piece of plastic there. And I don't want to put glue on his hands because if I do, I risk covering up, you know, the buttons and things like that. Is crazy glue my go-to for building models? Yes, it is. I am not even joking. Check this out. This is an entire bag of crazy glue. Typically, I mean, I know other people use, you know, plastic cement and all that kind of stuff. I don't like it. I don't want the commitment. It's hard enough once this stuff cures that, I mean, your stuff's not gonna, unless you're using an accelerant or something like that can make it brittle. If you do it right, it isn't coming apart. But I want an extended working time. Otherwise, I run into a problem, you know, with the other stuff. So the problem I have though right now with these models with resin and the Games Workshop bases, for some reason the way they've been making them lately, they're so slick, it's ridiculous. And I don't. It never used to be like that. So I have to let them sit there for a little bit longer. Thankfully, I've got a ceiling fan that's helping to dry, you know, helping the dry time and stuff like that. But yeah, crazy glue. I've been using it for years. I don't use super glue at all. And I don't use, you know, the amount of money you're spending on these models. Any chance you can save, I mean, shoot, you can get a tube of crazy glue for $1 at the dollar store, or typically if you live in the US, Walmart, you might even be able to buy it cheaper, like online or something like that, if you're not in the US. But typically from Walmart you can get a 2-pack for $1.77. You know what I mean? Now there's a caveat to this, and I'm not kidding. Do not buy it from anywhere but the paint section. I have no idea why they do this. It's got to be the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But if you walk back to the arts and crafts section, you will pay well over $2.30 for a 2-pack, when 4 aisles over it's $1.77. It makes no sense to me at all. I don't know if they just figure it's a gotcha thing or what. I don't know. Yeah, this guy turned out great, didn't he? I mean, like he's trying to put that mine up on something or blow something up. That's awesome. But yep, Crazy Glue all the way, man. Not sponsored by them, so Crazy Glue, if you're listening. Let's see. I really don't want to mess with this guy, but I want you guys to be able to see it better. Oh, his hand is not on the joystick. There it goes. There we go. And then I just got to put the rounds on his back, the replacement shells. Make sure he's pushed on there. We got the replacement shells here. Where's my clippers? They do that with double-sided tape also. Thank you for your recommendation. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Now I remember that. You're right. They do that with double-sided tape. Totally do that, man. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I want a better working time, especially if I screw up. I mean, I go pretty fast with these models and stuff like that, but you know, sometimes, well, heck, man, some of these models I've put together, if you guys go back in some of the older videos and stuff, the instructions were crap. I thought I understood what was going on, and then it's like, no, you know, and you go back, and I mean, yeah, you might have kind of a jelly, you know, consistency to wherever it breaks apart, but you can wipe that off or scrape it off with your blade, and it's not a big deal. You start using plastic cement, that's exactly what it does. It melts them together, and now you've got a problem. And I just don't want to have to deal with that or be that committed to something that I'm, you know, with all the money that we spend on this hobby. Let's see here. Now, some of you may say to yourself, man, that's a lot of wasted space for that base. My first response would be to agree with you. However, it gives me room to decorate it. You know what I mean? With rubble or whatever. Where you get a little too uniformed and cliche when you're putting it on either side, you know, all the way around. Here, I can put a little bit of stuff on this side, and then I could do like some razor wire tied in with some other things on this side that won't be sticking way off the base and look bad. You know, does that make sense? Or get in the way of my other models. And then again, like I said before, I made the mistake. I thought, well, I didn't realize that this was a keyboard. I thought this guy could just be back here, you know, doing something. I thought these rockets were going on his back. But, you know, obviously that wasn't the case. So, but I think it's going to turn out just fine. So, let's see here. And then, like I said, we've got all our guys over here with their, you know, now shotguns. For those of you that missed it, we cut off just the tip. Oops, sorry. Just the tip of these las guns, and now they have magazine-fed Remington 870 style shotguns, so that these regular Krieg Deathcore that I had sort of extra have now beefed up my engineers that are over here. Now they won't look like the engineers, you know, with these plates and stuff like that, but that's okay. You know, now I can have, you know, some beefed up squads, if for nothing more than harassment. Right on. Okay. Well, with that said, guys, for all of you guys that are still here, I really appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope to see you guys again. And again, please share, comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you next time.